Coming up on First at 4, some folks in one southern Kentucky city are without city water service as crews rush to fix a broken water main in the Cumberland River. And medical professionals in the mountains urge folks to stay safe during those holiday gatherings with flu season upon us.
Plus, enjoy the dry weather because changes are on the way by the weekend, also on Christmas Day. Those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Olivia Calfee. First at 4, hundreds of people are without water in a southern Kentucky city. The water main break in Williamsburg and Whitley County is in an unusual place in the Cumberland River. The problem has lasted several days and it's not known when it will be fixed. WYMT's Phil Pendleton just spoke with the Williamsburg mayor and people affected about the situation.
Work is taking place to replace a large water main that was submerged in the Cumberland River. Extensive work is taking place to fix this problem. Work that started just a few days ago as people in this community have now been without water for going on 3 days. Mayor Ronnie Harrison says this impacts about 1,100 people, about 25% of the city's population. They are currently working to put a new water line under the river. In the meantime, the city is making water available to people at the local fire department. 2 cases are being made available per person. People can also fill jugs or buckets with water for flushing toilets and other needs. They're also getting help from the city of Corbin and the Whitley County Water District. With Christmas just a few days away, the timing is terrible.
That's probably been the most troublesome thing, is knowing that people are trying to get family in. I know they're planning their Christmas parties, they're doing all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's pretty bad. You can't clean up, you can't flush your commode. Just pretty well at the mercy here, I guess.
The mayor tells me that the problem may have been some debris in the Cumberland River that hit the water main that sits on the bed of the river and caused it to rupture. They are boring this new main well below the bed of the river to make sure that this doesn't happen again. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
All right, thank you, Phil. The mayor stresses that the city will do whatever they can to make sure people have enough bottled water if they need it.
We are tracking some mild weather across the mountains on this Thursday afternoon. Let's take a live look in Perry County from Buffalo Mountain. You can see we are dry, a little bit cloudy though at this location. Those current temperatures also well above average. Now we are watching out for some more clouds into this afternoon, and this radar is showing maybe a few sprinkles over central Kentucky pushing into our region. I do think most of that though is evaporating before it hits the ground, because check out these dew points. The air is extremely dry. Dew points in the teens, also 20s, so that means the air is very dry, so I do think most of that precipitation is evaporating before it hits the ground this afternoon. And the big story, those temperatures are mild for late December. Lower 50s in London, 52 for Somerset as well, 53 over in Prestonsburg, so most of us in the 50s at this hour. And that mild weather also continues into this afternoon, into this evening. Those temperatures, once the sun sets, though, are going to be chilly once again. We're back in the middle to lower 40s and some upper 30s and some middle 30s in some areas as you wake up on Friday. More nice weather on the way for Friday, but those changes on the way by this weekend, also into early next week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Cameron, thank you. Folks across the mountains are gathering together for the Christmas holiday. Health experts warn those festive gatherings also bring chances for viruses to spread. Respiratory illnesses are on the rise for both the older and younger population this winter season. While vaccinations are the recommended, masks can still help to protect you. Health officials warn that even if you hate the look and the feel of a mask, it can help.
Something we don't like to talk about. You know, most of us, we don't like wearing those masks, but masking is still an effective way to help protect yourself and others. So don't be afraid to don a mask. If you're out in public, that N95 respirator may help keep you well.
For resources on respiratory illnesses in the Commonwealth, head to the story on our website. We will also have more about holiday foodborne illnesses tonight at 6. Millions of Americans are hitting the road and the skies hoping to make it home in time for the holidays. According to AAA, it could be busier this year than ever at the nation's airports, with an estimated 2.8 million passengers expected to fly every day through the holidays. And things are already getting complicated for those who chose to drive on the West Coast. Chris Van Cleve has the latest from Los Angeles.
'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the airport, a potential record number of creatures are stirring all about. The Tong family is off to ski in Montana.
We have not had any flight delays yet or cancellations yet.
With sugar plum dreams of on-time departures, despite wet weather across the nation, dancing in their heads.
We decided to fly a little earlier this year, not cut it so close, fly a couple days early.
The airlines expect more than 39 million passengers during the 2-week winter holiday, up 16% from last year.
We think it's going to be another record. In fact,
United CEO Scott Kirby.
Unless there's really, really bad weather, the holidays will go well across the board, both at United and for the industry at large.
Do you then surge people so that you're ready for that?
So we staff up and we have more spare reserves. Reserves are mostly for flight crews, so pilots and flight attendants, to accommodate anything that happens during those peak demand periods.
We've seen dramatically improved results compared to a year ago.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Do you feel that going into the holidays, the airlines there's a better robustness to their abilities to handle a disruption?
I've seen the airlines step up after we put a lot of pressure on them last year, both in terms of their customer service commitments and in terms of their performance.
With rain already falling in California and storms expected in the south, the holiday may be anything but a delight for drivers. AAA expects nearly 104 million will hit the road this year. Liliana Ramos is heading from LA to the Bay Area.
There's a lot of drivers that are not taking really good precautions, and we just saw a car hydroplane and smack into the island.
The heavy rain here in Southern California certainly has the potential to be a disruptor on the roads, but the airlines are cautiously optimistic about the forecast, hoping they can build on the success of Thanksgiving. Still, you're going to see very busy airports the next few days, so they're asking you to leave yourself some extra time. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And coming up on First at 4, heavy rain is causing major flooding issues in one Asian country.
And moisture increases for the holiday weekend, timing out those rain chances after this break.